Today on the bench is an oscillator and level measuring set of unknown make. Although from the paint job it looks like navy or similar military sort of design and construction. I've been able to find out nothing at all by googling and asking around. Basically all it does is just oscillate and provide a nice sine wave. Yesterday I measured it with my Marconi distortion factor meter and got a distortion measurement of 0.03%, but today I'm having problems. What I'll do, I'll show you the back. It may be that I've not got it set up, but one of the problems is the output seems to be very sensitive. So what I'll do, basically if I load it with anything, it has a fit. So all I'm doing is just plugging my meter on there, my distortion meter. As you can see, the output has gone right down. One other thing it keeps doing, what did it particularly not like? Let's try this one. Sorry about all the jumping about. Oh no, it likes that now. Right, okay. So let's just turn the output down. Right, the other thing is I've got some clipping at the top there. I'm a little bit unsure what voltage, DC voltage, I should be giving it. At the moment it's on about 22 volts. Just see if I turn that up a bit. I don't want to obviously blow the bleeding thing up. No, that's not improving it. Right. Okay, let's try loading it now. What did it particularly not like? It didn't particularly not like the meter. Not blinking while doing it now. Well, let's see if it'll do it. Oh, I know what he didn't like. He didn't like, sorry about the out of focus there. Right, there we go. So I'm just turning the frequency dial, and what it's doing, as you can see there, the output is collapsing, trying to revive, and then it does seem to be very sensitive. Oops, sorry, I'm out of focus. And that's not too bad, but at low output starts having a bit of a fit. Anything you can really do to try and revive that is to try and boost the output. As you can see, it's jigging about a bit. Right, I'll just pause you then, I'll show you the inside of the construction. As you can see, the construction is, it's well built. From the date codes on the capacitors, I think it was built around the early 70s, 1973, 74. And from what I can see, it's using mostly germanium diodes and transistors. As you can see down there, they're gold plated pins. Same here. It's using a McMurdo red range chassis sockets, and it's built like a lot of this sort of kit that I've come across with this. It's like Big Boys Meccano sort of thing. I don't really know the correct term for it. But anyway, I sort of had to have a bit of a guess, you know, where to put the power in and where the outputs come out. There's a lot of terminations here, most of which are the positive DC supply. What is weird is that the chassis is live, you know, so it's whatever you put in. So in this case it's 22 volts DC, so the chassis is not like your typical 0 volts ground. In fact, I can't find the ground inside anywhere. The purple here, this purple wire is ground, and then this yellow wire is the oscillator output, and that continues over here. So what I've got here is this jumper lead putting the oscillator output to what I think is the input for the what do you call it, the level meter or whatever you like to call it. Right, I'll just pause here and I'll take these out of the chassis and we can try and get a better look at the insides of them. This is the level meter, and as you can see, there's various cards that slot onto a bottom bus plate. This I thought was an input transformer, but it's only got 2 terminals, so I presume it's a choke or something of, you know, some sort of inductor. I think you can see on there. I'll just try and stop moving this about a bit. Let it focus. Can you see there? I can't see on the screen, but just here it says 75. Over here on this, is that a resistor? It says 76. Both this meter and the oscillator has a Zener on the output, or sorry, on the input DC supply. I don't know if anybody recognises the construction and these numbers, serial numbers, whatever they are. 96Y PB00 18. Yeah, the other thing, it has a lot of terminations as well coming to this output here. I've really no idea what a lot of them are for. And as you can also see from the McMurdo red socket there, it's in very good condition, like almost in new condition. So I don't know what this one here is doing exactly. Both, I think actually this is the input maybe to smooth, you know, to smooth and regulate the DC coming in, even though it's already smoothed and whatnot. And then these 4 diodes down here, I think are for the meter. I think they're like a bridge for the meter. And then as you can see, there's another couple of transistors. And I thought this was a an input transformer, but I don't think it is. Again, like the writing on there is very, you know, military. 76 again, 22nd 76. Also got this interesting construction where I like these big heat sinks, but they're not actually heat sinks, they're just there to hold these upright cards in place. Hard to see in that without taking it apart. CAU 4261 47621 SH2. What's the meter? Doesn't really have a name on the meter. As you can see, it's lovely construction. All the resistors there look like new, with screens with tubing on the leads. From what I can work out, this is just an attenuator for the input, and I presume that that means that you can either I think this basically, that selects the input for the meter, and that is termination. As you can see, that's the legend on there. Level measuring set number 30A, spec RC548T 96U-RM. Don't know. RM00044B00SHT, issue serial number. There is, if I can find it, a can, very heavily construction, very heavy construction, should I say, of quite heavy gauge steel that fits over there. This is the oscillator module, similar construction, gold pins down there. There's a similar bridge here. I thought that at first was for an AC voltage input, and that would be like some sort of bridge rectifier, but it isn't. I'm pretty sure that's for the meter on the front. Big can. I had to loosen that up to try and find out what working voltage it said on it, to try and have an estimate of what to put in. And we've got the big Zener again, which looks like to clamp the input. It's clamping at 9 volts, and the other one is clamping at 9 volts too. But with the 10 volt, sort of 12 volt DC input power supply, the sine waves are getting clipped off at the top. 22, 24 seems about right. It's not getting hot at that voltage, neither are these two big resistors here. Again, I can't find a 0 volts ground. I'm not really sure what they're doing. I presume they're just decoupling the power supply. At first I thought it would have split rails, but it seems to work okay as it is. This is odd. That's our meter on the front. I'm not really, I'll get to that in a minute. We've got some sort of toroidal, looks like a custom wound toroidal transformer, which fits straight on the back there. I think that is just, from what I can see here, this switch here, this attenuator switch, switches various windings on the transformer, which then go to the meter. It does seem pretty accurate. I set it at 0 volts and then dropped it -1 dB and +1 dB, and that corresponded to my B&K AC meter dB, bang on. So yep, that seems pretty bang on. This, like I say, is the attenuator, and this turns up the voltage, the peak to peak voltage of the sine wave. Top is around 6 volts peak to peak. From what I understand, can work out, it goes from 20 to 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. There on the back there, I'm looking at other stuff. There's these big poly caps, and I'm pretty sure that's part of the oscillator circuit. And there was one component I was a bit curious about. If you can see down there, I'll just get me pointy stick. There is it looks like a light bulb, and it says RY1, and I wondered if this was a wine bridge oscillator, and that was the bulb was part of that, because I've I made a similar oscillator with using a light bulb to regulate the output, and that had a very sort of similar boingy, unstable sort of motion on the sine wave when you was changing the output and when you first turned it on. I can't see a date code on these caps. Oh, I can. What does that say? 76. So I presume this is, I thought it was 1973, but it's actually 1976. Again, the construction is really good. Colvin pots. These pots, 15k spec, 5 dB. Again, they look military. They look custom wound, they do. This tuning dial has a clutch, so it feels very nice to turn. Sure, it's got a clutch. Yeah, because there's more rotations for each. It's geared. There's some sort of clutch or gear in there. Because one rotation. Let me just see. Yeah, one rotation of the dial isn't one rotation here, so there's some sort of reduction gear there. Yeah, so if you know of any information pertaining to this, what it is, where it comes from, what it was used for exactly, I'd be interested to find out. Right, let's just see if we can find that other. There's another device somewhere. RY, there it is. RY2. I'm not quite sure what that is. Looks like some sort of diode, but I don't think it is. RY. Don't know. Yeah, interesting anyway. Don't know as I'll keep it, because I've got plenty of signal generators that work far better than this. Maybe somebody has the rest of the similar sort of equipment that it goes with, because I'm not quite sure of the function of this meter here, going from you know, it's like a balance, isn't it? It's almost -1 dB, +1 dB. Not quite sure what that's all about. Obviously the other module, as it says on it, is for recording level. But what I have found is that it doesn't measure down. It doesn't seem to correspond with this, what I'm trying to say. When it's on its when this is on its lowest setting and this is on its sort of lowest setting, there's no movement of the needle. Yeah, it doesn't quite correspond. Mind you, I haven't tried the calibrating or anything like that, so anywho, I'll shut up waffling and get off. Ta-da.